Hi everybody, this is Alchemist 2, and I'm back again with another book review. Recently I read the last of the Remember Tuesday Morning books, and this is actually the 9/11 series, and the last part of the series is called Remember Tuesday Morning, and it's extremely emotional, especially what Alex goes through with Bo, his partner. He's part of the fire department of New York, and it's just extremely heart-wrenching what happens. He's lost his dad in the 9/11 attacks, and ever since then he's just been completely apathetic and he just is numb to everything. He just doesn't care. He just sort of lets it pass him by, and it's really sad, especially with his love interest Holly, who loves him through this and sticks with him no matter what. But he's not even open to her love for him, which is really sad. And of course there's a couple in here that takes Alex under their wing, and they try to get him out of his funk and help him to heal, but his scars are very deep, and he just seems to be cold and unfeeling and aloof and just calculating and sterile. Like there's nothing there. There's no emotion. He's a robot. But in the duration of the book, I'm not going to give anything away, but we see a change, and we also notice that Alex takes upon some responsibility because he suspects that there is some terrorist activity where he's going to be going. The REA, that's who he thinks it is, and it actually is the REA that's behind it. But it's really interesting. There's a lot of action and adventure, and there's some romance, and it's also very emotional, and it's an emotional roller coaster. And I don't think I would recommend this for anybody who has undergone a tragedy within 9/11. I mean, really lost someone close to them. I don't know, maybe it would be helpful in healing, but everybody grieves differently, just as we could see in Alex's character. And some people just switch off their emotions and don't want to be bothered by anybody. They become unfeeling and heartless. They don't want to feel anything anymore. They don't want to have they don't want to be vulnerable. They become just so stoic, and it's sad, really. And this can happen with a lot of people who are undergoing grief, especially if they've lost somebody tragically like that. And I haven't lost somebody to an accident, but I lost my mother to cancer, and I went through all the stages of grief, and yeah, I still miss her, but I'm not to the point where I'm not going to say I'm just going to switch off my emotions and not experience them anymore, because it's not part of my personality. I'm a very feeling person, and I think it's okay to cry. I mean, crying can be very helpful and actually help you live longer, believe it or not. And that release of emotion is also very useful, and just letting you know that you're human and that you're alive. And later on we see this occur with Alex, and I really like this book. I really enjoyed it, and Karen, she just weaves an immaculate yarn as usual. And in time I plan to read the trilogy that I got, which it is actually a really good buy. And then I got another book at half price called Divine, but I haven't read it yet. but it looks to be another really good one. And I know I mentioned this before, but the next book in the Bailey Flanagan series, Longing, is coming out on my mom's birthday. How apropos. Other than that, I really don't have that much else to say about Remember Tuesday Morning, only that it's very, very poignant book. Extremely poignant. And it's so spectacularly written, and it's really extraordinary, and it's just a wonderful book, just absolutely marvelous, just truly and I think if anybody is a Karen Kingsbury fan, they would like it. But as for those who it's hard to say whether people who have gone through the tragedy of 9/11 personally, whether they would want to read a book like that. And I don't think that they would. It's just like, I didn't want to see the film The Two Towers, and I did anyway, but it was extremely gut-wrenching, and it was difficult for me to get through that movie. And there's another movie coming out. It's called Extremely Loud and Dangerously Close. And although the cast is just unreal, I mean, it's a top billing of stars that are involved in this cast. It's about it kind of reminded me of this story, but it's a little bit different. The story is about a young boy who loses his parents. Actually, he loses his dad due to the bombing, and he's left a key, and he has to figure out exactly what this key opens. So he searches everywhere, and he talks to different people, and he realizes how connected everybody is, and there's a lesson to be learned within that. But I couldn't, no, even though I only saw what happened, I was struck by it too. It really changed me, and it transformed me as a human being, and I think it did for a lot of people. So I don't know if I can recommend this book to a lot of different people, but I enjoyed it. I thought that it was really spectacularly written, and once again, Karen Kingsbury just dazzled me. She just drew me in, as she usually does. I don't know how she does it, but she's truly gifted with the golden pen. She really is, and whatever she writes, I think that it comes from her heart, and I think she wrote this to help people who have gone through just gut-wrenching tragedy. And I can't even imagine how devastating that would be, because my mom actually went through something similar when she lost her first child, and her rest of her family, and her husband and her favorite brother, to an airplane crash before she married my dad. But I just don't see how anybody could cope, to be honest with you, especially not my own mom. But she did. I think the way that she did it was through humor, and just you gotta be tough. And I learned that from her, that laughter is the best medicine, and you just have to be able to stare at whatever comes your way, no matter how frightening it is, in the backdrop, and just stare it straight in the eyes, and just say, I'm not afraid of you. I can get through this with God's help, and with my friends' help, with everybody who is going to support me through this horrendous time. This is just temporary. This too shall pass. And we see that with Alex too, with his endeavor, and it actually has a happy ending. It ends with a very meaningful conclusion. It's very satisfying as well. So that's the reason why I recommend Remember Tuesday Morning. So if you have a chance to pick it up, I would definitely do so, because it is well worth your time to read.